you're a coach, consultant, or an agency owner, the next few minutes are going to be the most valuable minutes in the entire month. Because today I'm revealing the exact lead acquisition system that has helped my coaching business go from zero to making over $20,000 in a single month, with almost 80% of the clients paying in full upfront. What's funny is I didn't even realize what was happening and what led to this outcome. But after looking back and exactly reverse engineering each and every system, I figured out there was a pattern. And I turned that pattern into a system that I just replicated over every single month. And that system consistently generated leads, clients, revenue every single month consistently. But the best part, it doesn't require you to run ads to do any cold outreach. I know that sounds impossible, but using the same system, Rupesh made over $3,000 in 3 days. Kritik made over $5,000 in a single month. Imani made over $20,000 in a single week, and Ansh closed multiple 4 figures in just 2 months, completely from scratch. Now, if you're tired of trying and testing out multiple strategies and still fail to attract high ticket leads for your business, this is it. By end of the video, you'll understand how to build a predictable lead generation system that brings in clients without chasing them. So let's get started. Firstly, you've got to understand most of you do not have a lead problem or an offer problem or a sales problem. You have a marketing problem. And even if people know you, the right people do not know you yet. And that's the reason why you're not getting any leads. And even though you're getting leads or DMs or anything, they're not really qualified people who are able to afford the high ticket prices or the premium charges that you're charging right now. And the other people, on the other hand, do not even see any value in the service that you're offering. And that purely indicates that your marketing system is completely broken. By end of the video, we are aiming for 2 objectives. The first one is pre-sold clients. The second one is people who actually value your service and people who actually want to work with you. Now, in order to actually achieve these outcomes, you need to actually build a personal brand. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to talk about exactly how do you do that. And not just that, how do you actually build an entire end-to-end lead acquisition system? So not just building a personal brand and attracting the right people, but how do you funnel through them to your offer and how do you actually convert them? Now, this video is divided into 3 different parts. The first one is your personal brand. The second one is going to be about funnels. The third video is going to be about sales assets. Even if you miss one component of this, you are not going to build an entire lead acquisition system that actually mints revenue for you. So let's get started. The first one, which is personal brand, right? Your personal brand is the most important asset if you're a coach, consultant, or an agency owner. Because if you do not have that, you're basically invisible and people are not going to even understand what you're trying to do here. Now, pretty much, if you want to get started with your personal brand, there are 3 important documents that you've got to create. The first one is my story document. Now, this is a general document about your entire life in general. What are the best pivotal moments of your life, some of the incredible stuff that you have done in your life and all of that stuff. Take 2 to 3 hours of your time on a day and then just, voice record each and every single thing, go through your entire life since the last couple of years. The second one would be contrarian document. Now, this is the most important document if you're building a personal brand right now that wants to sign more clients. Now, contrarian document is basically all the contrarian opinions that you have in your particular niche. For example, you're a fitness coach right now and you just have to create a document of all the things that you disagree with the rest of the people in your niche. Do not force it, but if you have it, just list them down, because this is going to be your unfair advantage, your unique selling point when you're creating content. Now, the third one, which is going to be a credibility document. Now, credibility document is a document that talks about your expertise, your credibility, your credentials, whatever that is, right? All the credibility, all the credentials that you have in your life, just list them down, because this is exactly what makes people listen to you. And that's exactly why you've got to have this document. Now, coming to the second part, which is going to be picking a format. Don't really overthink about this. The first few posts, especially if you want to get to 10K fast, right? You should really move very quick. And how do you really move very quick is by trying and testing out multiple formats in your niche and also looking at other niches as well. Seeing which formats are really popping off right now with the trends that are going in, and just pick 2 to 3 and just try and test them out by creating at least 5 videos in each format to see how it goes. And the third most element of building your personal brand is your viewer's journey. Now, this is the most important part that a lot of people miss. Your viewer's journey is divided into 4 different stages, and a lot of people miss the first 2 and directly skip to the third one and wonder why they did not convert any clients. So listen up. The first one is admirable, right? When people look at you, they should be like, hey, I like this man's content. I will like it, or I will save this video. Maybe I'll use it for a future time. That is exactly what admirable content is like. The second is likable. when you have a conversation with another person, you bring up this man's name, right? Because you like this creator or you like the way that he creates content. Now, that is exactly when a viewer comes to the second stage, which is likable. From there onwards, he moves towards credible. And this usually happens when this man, the viewer, is your ICP as well. Because now he looks at you. For example, you're talking about marketing strategies, you're talking about how do you grow your social media. Now he looks at you and he's like, hey, I like this man's content. And not just that, I also think he's an expert in growing your Instagram, right? He thinks you're a credible person to talk about Instagram in general. Now that's stage 3. Now stage 4 is trustable. Now you build trust with proof or consistent results, right? You post your stories about your client work, you talk about your client wins, your client results, and your results in general. And you show the proof over and over again. That increases the trust for this person. Now, when a person reaches stage 4, which is trust, he is basically pre-sold. Now, if he has a credit card, if he has the money to spend on you, if he has a problem, he will come to you. How do you lead him? How do you lead him to actually buy the stuff that you are basically selling? That is exactly what brings us to the next part, which is called the funnel. Now, this is the most important part because you might have millions of reach, you might have millions of followers, but if you do not have a funnel to actually lead the viewer to buy a product, your business is broken. So you're only solving the first piece of puzzle, but the second piece of puzzle, which is the most important part, is your funnel. Now, this is where you lead your viewers into becoming your customers. Now, how this happens is through multiple ways. And my favorite way is by doing story sequences. The story sequences is something that a lot of people do not really utilize properly. A lot of you create reels with call to actions and be like, hey, comment this to work one-on-one with me, comment this keyword to work with me, to comment this to get my services and all that stuff. It's good, but not great. Now, how do you make it great? So you have to first of all understand the intention behind each and every feature on Instagram. So reels are primarily for discovery. Carousels and story sequences are best for conversions. So you've got to use them properly because stories feel more personal compared to reels because reels you're creating for non-followers as well. Majority of the people who are watching the reels are non-followers, people who do not know. So people watch reels to discover you. But people who have already discovered you, people who have already liked you, people who already trust you, look at your stories. And that's why it's the most powerful format that you can leverage to sign more clients. Now, this is exactly how you do it, right? I would divide the entire story sequence strategy into 4 different parts. The first one is going to be your lifestyle and your personality. Like no selling here, but you're just connecting with them through your stories. Now, the second part is going to be value section. Now, value section is primarily about you giving value about the problem that you're trying to solve for other people. Now, the third one is going to be your business side of things. Now, this can be about your case studies, your testimonials, the client work that you do. You're just showing the behind the scenes of what's happening in the service that you're offering and the kind of clients who are winning in the situation. Now, the last one, which is going to be a call to action. The story sequence, the call to action story sequence usually comes up with a problem. So you present a problem, then you present the outcome, the final solution that you were able to achieve. Then by doing that, what you're essentially doing is building the curiosity so that people can understand how you achieve the result, right? And that's the reason why they're going to look at your other stories. So this is how a call to action story sequence is done. Now, when people reply to the keyword, they come to your DMs, and that's where the third part of the puzzle comes in, which is called as sales process. Now, again, this is divided into multiple subparts again. I'll be breaking them down briefly as well. So the first one is going to be your offer ladder. Again, it depends on what you're trying to sell here, but what I observed here, especially in the markets of India, is it works really, really well compared to US markets. And for me, the reason why I was able to scale my business was because I had a mid-ticket offer and then directly a high-ticket offer. So I actually run a consulting business where we help early stage freelancers and 9 to 5 people to quit their 9 to 5 and actually start freelancing and start their agency, right? This is exactly what we do. Our primary flagship offer is a one-on-one done with you service for such people where they pay us anywhere from 3.5 to 4.5k USD, and we help them build their agency set up in the next 4 to 5 months, right? And for mid-ticket as well, we have a group cohort. And now this is a $500 ticket price offer where people enroll to this, and we teach exactly the system that we implement with the one-on-one clients here. So why I was able to make $22,000 in a single month is because 30% to 40% of our revenue, like around $6,000 to $7,000 in revenue, came from the cohorts. And for that to also happen, we have sales assets. Now this is the most important part, which actually does a lot of heavy lifting so that we do not have to take any sales calls. The first one is a business page. A very very, very important. Again, this Instagram page is not optimized to go viral. It is primarily there so that I can share this to my prospects who are interested in my service or my cohort or my course or anything like that, to see all the case studies and the testimonials that we have received so far. The second one is going to be case study interviews, right? So all the successful clients that we have, we make sure that we have interviews where we talk about how did we do it, how were you able to achieve it, and what was the experience of working with us and all of that stuff. We record that into YouTube videos and we send these videos before anyone enrolling into Agency OS, because now they get a clear idea and they get to hear from the person itself who got on the results and who've actually had a good experience working with us. So yeah, this is the exact lead acquisition system that we follow. It's not really that complicated. It just has 3 different layers. The first one is your personal brand, the second one is your funnel, and the third one is your sales assets. If you're a coach, consultant, or an agency, stuck between $5,000 to $20,000, and if you want to double your revenue in the next 90 to 120 days, you can schedule a call with us, which is in the description, and I'll be the one who'll actually be taking the call, not my sales rep or any seller or something like that. I will actually talk to you and understand what your business is doing and how we can scale it to the moon. So yep, thanks for watching. Peace.